So what? Somebody snuck in a house, hurt her violently in your bedroom where you were at working.
I didn't kill Michelle.
That's how we're going to end it?
I don't know what to say. I keep telling you the same thing, and it's the truth.
Meet 44-year-old Roxanne Buck. Roxanne was the last person in contact with her roommate, Michelle Johnson, before she was found stabbed to death in her own home. Now, as this case progresses, dark and disturbing secrets will reveal that Roxanne is anything but a witness.
Michelle's dead. They found her in a shed. Before I go any further, Roxanne, did you hurt Michelle?
On the evening of March 15, 2014, the Stowe Police Department received a frantic phone call from Diane Johnson, a mother concerned about her daughter's safety. Diane had left her home in Stowe, Ohio, just 3 days earlier to visit family in West Virginia. Her 21-year-old daughter, Michelle Johnson, had stayed behind. For the first 2 days, things seemed fine. Michelle was active online, even posting to Facebook at 12:06 p.m. on Friday, March 14th. But after that post, she went radio silent. No texts, no calls, no updates. This silence set off alarm bells for Diane. She reached out to 44-year-old Roxanne Buck, a family friend who was renting the basement in their home and had been in the process of moving out. But Roxanne hadn't seen or heard from Michelle either. By 5:30 p.m. that same day, officers arrived at the house. They searched the property and followed a narrow path out back, leading them to a small shed. Inside, they made a chilling discovery: Michelle's body, partially covered with a tire and some blankets. Though paramedics rushed her to the hospital, it was already too late. Now the question was, who would do this to Michelle, and why? And the last person who might have had answers was Roxanne Buck, Michelle's roommate, and the last known person to see her alive. Which is exactly why, less than an hour after Michelle's body was discovered, Roxanne was brought in for questioning. The following footage was given to us by the Stowe Police Department.
When's the last time you saw Michelle?
Around 12:45 yesterday.
Last night, as in the morning, or 12:45?
More after.
12:45 in the afternoon yesterday?
I know this because I was supposed to pick my friend up from work, and she called me and said that I didn't have to. So it's on the caller ID.
On the caller ID of the house?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I left shortly after because Michelle said she was having people over and asked me if I was working because I work at home. And I said no. She didn't want to. Yes.
Do you have a
American Medical Response. I work for that.
Keep in mind I'm old, and I'm just going to make sure I got this all straight in my head.
Okay.
I saw Michelle at the house on Maple Park about 12:45. You got a call about a ride. Now,
Yeah, I was supposed to pick up my friend, and she called to say I didn't have to because her husband was coming to get her.
okay.
So I was looking at the time, and Michelle said she was going to have people over, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll make myself scarce because I try to do that when she has people over, they're loud.
Okay, and so you left shortly after that?
Yes.
Okay, and where did you go?
I went to the park, and then I went to Barberton to see a friend.
Which park? So,
Yes.
which one?
What's it called? You're driving towards Monroe Falls, and it's right before the bridge and the railroad
Is
tracks.
that Rust or something like that?
Yeah, it starts with a B. There's a farmer's market there.
Okay. Who did you go see in Barberton?
His name's Kiss.
Kiss?
It was only for a minute.
And
I don't know the exact address, but it's on Waterloo.
his name is, his nickname is Kiss?
Yeah. He's a rapper.
He's a rapper. You don't appear to be somebody into rap. Is you into rap music?
He was my ex-boyfriend's friend.
Okay. How can I get a hold of him to verify your information?
I have his phone number, but he won't want to call me.
Okay, I'm used to it.
Okay.
A lot of people don't like to call.
I was only there for a minute.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm not even saying I'm going to call him. I'm just saying if it turns out down the road, we got to verify his stories.
He's a dealer.
What is he dealing? Did you go there to use yesterday?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I was pretty much going to the park and stuff for.
About what time did you meet up with him?
It takes about. I went to the park and I did exercise.
Walked on the trail?
But I got to thinking. Maybe at 1:30.
Okay.
Let's pause for a second and unpack what Roxanne just said. First off, she claims she spoke to Michelle at 12:45 p.m. on Friday, about 40 minutes after Michelle's final Facebook post. That makes her the last known person to have contact with Michelle while she was still alive. Second, we know there were ongoing issues in the house surrounding Roxanne's drug use. According to Diane, both she and Michelle had been trying to get Roxanne to move out for 2 months after discovering she was using the Walter White, which, by the way, is a drug known to trigger aggression, paranoia, and poor impulse control. Now, Roxanne just casually admitted to buying more drugs during the exact window Michelle went missing, between 12:30 and 5 p.m. So let's just line that up. She was the last person to talk to Michelle, she was on drugs, and she was out scoring more during the most critical hours. That alone puts her in a very bad spot. But what she's about to admit next makes all of this look tame by comparison.
I went to various parking lots.
And used them?
Yes. I didn't want to sit too long.
All right, and when you came home, where was Michelle?
I didn't see her.
She wasn't home?
No.
And what time did you get home?
Well, I had to go to the emergency room because I use an aluminum can.
Yeah.
And sometimes you cut it open to get...
Sure.
And I cut myself on the can.
What hospital did you go to?
The one... Hudson? Akron General?
Oh, right here in Stowe?
Yes.
Okay, so Stowe ER. What time do you think you were there?
Until 4 something.
Apparently, Roxanne's injuries were so bad she needed multiple stitches. But let's be honest, how dangerous are cans, really? Not very. And that's not even the story she gave her job or the hospital. On Friday evening, Roxanne called off her shift at Burger King, claiming she'd cut herself with a knife by accident. I think we can all guess what the accident was. Forensics determined Michelle was stabbed up to 32 times, and her stab wounds were consistent with Roxanne's injury, meaning her hand slipped while holding the knife and she sliced herself. So either Roxanne had a freak kitchen accident at the exact same time her roommate was being stabbed to death, or she knows a lot more than she's letting on.
Will they let me see her at the hospital?
No. No, Michelle's dead. Now, they found her in a shed back there. Okay? We need to establish, again, your activity. Not because I think you did this. This is just standard operating procedure. Okay? Before I go any further, Roxanne, did you hurt Michelle?
No.
Okay. Do you know who did hurt Michelle?
No.
Do you know how she became hurt?
No. I haven't seen her since yesterday.
Okay. Does Michelle drive a car?
No.
She doesn't have a car of her own? Does she use her mom's car or anything like that?
But her mom's in West Virginia with the car.
Okay. Okay, that's one of the things they asked me to ask you.
1935. Her mom's gonna be devastated. I was there all day. When?
I'm not sure. At first I heard about it.
We need to call her mom.
Well, actually, her mom's the one who initiated the call to us because she was worried that she didn't come home. So she called us, so we went out to the legal park. And
Yeah, we talked earlier, me and her mom.
So Michelle's mom called us. We went out to the house, and that's where we found Michelle. All right. So, and this is another standard police question that we ask everybody. Is there anything that you told me that isn't true? Because right now it's really important.
I even told you the truth about the drugs.
I understand, and I appreciate it, Roxanne. But it's real important now. Everything has to be 100% truth. Okay, because if you don't tell truth, that makes you look bad. You understand?
Yes.
I mean, you watch the shows. You understand where I'm going with this? We don't want you.
The shows aren't real.
No, the shows aren't real, but there are some things that are true about them. It's real important that we only get the truth here. Okay? Is there anything that you told me earlier that isn't true?
No.
Okay. All right. We're going to have you write a statement. And I want from noon yesterday on. Okay? You were at your house. Where is it? 4410 Maple Park. You were, who was home and who was there in the home with you? I'm paraphrasing. Only you can tell your statement, but from what you're telling me, you got a phone call about 12:45. Who was that phone call from? Did they call on their cell? Did they call your cell? Just call as many details. You can't have too many details. Then what happened? Okay, from what you're telling me is the person was supposed to get a ride from you, but they didn't need a ride.
Right.
So you said you wanted to go to the park. You went to Brust Park. They're off 91 in Monroe Falls. Did some exercising. If you went in the woods, fine. If you went on the trails, fine. Wherever you went, you're exercising. Okay. Then after you were done exercising, you told me you went to Barbara to see Kiss. Okay.
I was also there that morning. Did you want the morning?
Sure. You say you were where? What morning?
I went to Kiss's house in the morning too.
Okay. And then so start back. About what time did you go down to Barbara?
Which time?
How many times did you go? Yeah. 3 yesterday. What times did you go?
Around 1 in the morning. Around
Stand by.
8 in the morning.
Stand by.
Around 1:30.
You went 1:30 in the morning, then what?
1 in the morning, 8 in the morning, and around 1:30.
1 in the morning.
And I'm guesstimating the times.
One thing to note here is that Michelle was allegedly seeing a Stowe police officer at the time of this incident and remained in frequent contact with him. And it just so happens that their relationship ties in directly with Roxanne's drug use. Like she mentioned, Roxanne went to buy drugs 3 times on Friday, 1 a.m., 8 a.m., and then close to 1:30 p.m. After Roxanne's first purchase, she was likely caught by Michelle. Because at 2:32 a.m., just after that first drug run, Michelle messaged the officer saying she planned to confront Roxanne about her drug use. The last message between Michelle and the officer came 5 hours later, which lines up exactly with Roxanne's second drug run. So if you're keeping track, we've now got a known drug user and a confrontation inside the house that matches up with Michelle's time of death.
Which hand did you cut?
This one.
Your right hand?
Mm-hmm.
And that's your all 4 fingers?
Well, a little.
Which ones did they
These
charge?
needed stitches.
Okay. So you're ringing your pinky.
Yes.
Ring and pinky on left hand.
Yeah. I'm trying to scrape. And it bounces back because it's like that. And that's
What bounces back?
the can. You flatten it out to scrape it. And then if you accidentally let it go, it bounces back. And I try to put it down like that, and that's when it got me.
The edge cut it.
Yes.
All right. So you said there were 3 times. You said 8 a.m. What was the next time?
It was 1 o'clock in the morning-ish, right after I got paid, and then around 8-ish, and then around 1:30-ish.
And the 1:30 was the last time you went and saw it?
Yes.
Okay.
I was out of money then.
How much did you get each time?
About 40, and then 80.
40, and 80?
Yes.
Is that normal?
No, usually it's more. Sometimes it's more. I quit for a while, but he calls and hounds me. My ex-boyfriend was a big addict, and so it's not like an everyday thing. It's like a payday maybe thing.
So when you say 40, and 80, is that a standard number of rocks or ounces or grams?
Dollars. He just gives me what he says it's
So how much is $80 worth?
About that big.
Yeah, is it just 1 rock or is it multiple?
Yeah, I cut it with my fingernail.
Yeah. Did you go with anybody to see Kiss any of these times?
Never.
So it's always by yourself? And did you use with anybody? Or you just used all 3 times yesterday?
It's a personal thing to me.
Okay. My point being, is there any witnesses that can verify your actions yesterday?
Besides him, no.
Okay. And what time did you go to the Burger King yesterday? To tell
Right after I left the
So
emergency.
that was 2-ish, 3-ish?
No, it's after 4.
It was after 4. And then you went home right after that?
Yes, I did.
And did you stay home the rest of the night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You've got some addiction problems you're dealing with, and that's an excuse why you weren't at the house for an extended period of time. Again, Roxanne, it's got to be the truth. Okay? If you start telling half-truths, that equals a lie.
Okay.
All right? So it's real important. This is a serious matter, that only the truth. Now, if something happened here that you know about, now's the time to get in front of it. In fact, this is the only time you're going to be given the opportunity to get in front of it. If you know something that happened to Michelle, this is the time to do it, because it's when I've given your opportunity to become clean. if there is something to be told. If I give you the opportunity to come clean and you refuse it, that looks bad on you down the road. You understand? I'm not sure if I'm articulating clear enough. If a mistake happened, okay, if you know something that happened that you're trying to cover up, it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea to try to cover up for somebody. It's a bad idea if you made a mistake and try to cover that up. The only thing that's going to help you now is 100% truth, because the truth is never going to hurt you.
Right.
Okay? And when we're done with this conversation, you are going home. We are not holding you. Okay? You are not under arrest.
I don't.
There aren't any charges.
You need to block it off?
Well, the guy, the guys out there are going to be working. What I'm saying is you're not going to be held here at the police department. There are no charges filed against you. In fact, you're free to go anytime. You're here voluntarily. You understand that, right?
When a cop says you're free to go, what they usually mean is you're not going anywhere. While Roxanne sits quietly writing out her story, detectives are still at the scene, and what they find is about to bump her to the top of the suspect list, if things weren't bad enough already.
I was out at the scene, around the house, looking around. I see all kinds of footprints. And I see, what kind of shoes do you have on? Okay, and those. Okay. I'm going to take a picture only because I was out there, the policeman with the boots are out there, and I need to know what kind of shoes are out there. So, actually, can you pop that shoe up? I'm going to take a picture. So, you had to look at my shoes, and, everyone has different friends, so.
I walked out in that yard before.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, right there. But I have to be able to say, well, that's Roxanne's, that's mine, because I stepped there. So it's like putting a puzzle together, so give me a second.
Officers found waffle-patterned shoe prints and dog feces near Michelle's body and the shed. The prints were a perfect match to a pair of shoes owned by, you guessed it, Roxanne. So the question now is, did she just stumble upon the scene, or was she the one who put Michelle there?
You don't walk the dog normally for her?
No.
I saw your footprints in the front yard. Would they be anywhere else in the yard?
In the front or the back?
I saw them in the front yard. Have you been walked around the backyard at all?
Yesterday when Michelle and I were smoking in the garage, she let the dog out. I had shoes on because I was going to pick up my friend, and she didn't. And the dog was hopping around and playing, so I tried to walk the plank, but, I probably got in the mud trying to get her.
Where?
There's a wooden plank. There's wood by the door.
Back door?
Yes.
Okay.
So I just tried to step on that, and I might have went off because the shoe was muddy.
Okay. If I could, I'd like to take a picture of both shoes together, and then I'll give you your shoes back. Oh, sorry. It probably sounds odd. Not in any trouble, okay? But I need to keep your shoes for just a little while. I'll go get you another pair of shoes at the house. Only because we have to eliminate prints, known prints. So I apologize. It's sort of a standard thing we do. You're not in any trouble, but I need to hang on to the shoes. I know, I'm sorry, I'm not going to keep them forever. If you have another pair, I can go out to the house and grab them for you.
Yeah, but they're slippery.
I'm not going to keep them forever, just a little bit. It's kind of an important thing.
Well, that's one creepy way to ask for your shoes back. But luckily, this was just one of the many things discovered in Diane's home. Forensic analysis found bloodstains all across the house. However, they were the most concentrated in the basement, especially in Roxanne's living area. It was clear Michelle was killed somewhere near Roxanne's room and the laundry area. So now it's not just Roxanne might have seen something, it's Roxanne might have done everything.
What was the last time that you saw Michelle?
Around 12:45 yesterday.
That was Thursday or Friday? 12:45 Friday?
Yes.
And
I know the approximate time because I was supposed to pick my friend up from work, and she called between 12:30 and 12:45 to say she didn't need a ride.
Okay. And what was Michelle doing? What were you doing?
We took the dog out, and we were smoking in the garage, and she
asked me if I was going to be working because I work at home. Because she said she was having people over.
Okay.
And she didn't want to disturb me because I make calls and stuff.
Okay.
And I said, because at Fridays I usually blow off, because as long as I do 40 hours before Saturday night, I can, work whenever I want. So I told her no. And I said I was going to make myself scarce for a few hours and do whatever, because they're loud. When she has people over, they're pretty loud.
Who does she have over?
I don't know her friends. I stay downstairs unless I'm cooking or showering.
Okay. Do you work somewhere else besides Burger King?
Yeah, American Medical Response.
Okay. What do you do for them?
Billing and coding.
For the next several minutes, Roxanne repeats her alibi word for word. Only this time, she conveniently added a new detail, an explanation for why detectives might have found her footprints.
So Friday night at 5 o'clock, you're home, the dog's there, nobody else is there?
No.
Okay. And
she left the sink full of dishes and I washed them. If it helps, there was 2 of everything. They should be in the dish tray.
so she had left 2 dishes?
2 plates.
2 plates. Okay. What'd you do after that?
I took a nap and the dog started barking. So, I know it sounds mean, but I'm not responsible for that dog. I don't do dogs. I'm a cat person.
Right.
So, I didn't want to let her out the back because it was a muddy mess that morning when Michelle and I took her out. It took forever to wash that. I didn't feel like doing that. So I had my pajamas on. I just threw my coat on and went to take her for a walk.
What time?
I don't know. I took a nap and I was exhausted. So it was last night. You can ask the neighbor. She'll know what time because the dog got loose from me and she returned it.
This was Friday night?
Yes.
So Friday night the dog got loose?
Yes.
Is that when she ripped the stitches out?
No, that was this morning. And it wasn't ripped out. It just pulled it enough to bleed, and I was able, because I work for doctors' offices and stuff, I knew that it wasn't pulled or anything, so.
So Friday night you took the dog for a walk?
Yes, and this morning.
And then you came back Friday night after walking the dog and
I went to sleep. I went to bed because by that time I was up for a while and I was exhausted. And then the dog kept barking most of the night. I would just holler, and then one time I opened the door and put the gate so she could look out. That didn't work. She kept barking. So I didn't sleep much.
Unknowingly, Roxanne has made 2 major mistakes right now. First, if her wounds were severe enough to need stitches, it makes no sense that she managed to do the dishes for just an hour or 2 after getting treatment. Second is her pathetic attempt to distance herself from the shed by giving a vague explanation using the dog walking story. What she doesn't know is that 2 witnesses gave officers a very important account. According to them, they witnessed Roxanne walking Michelle's dog close to the shed at one point. This is when she came out and tried to get the dog as far away as possible from it.
Can you explain to me what you do with this can?
Take an empty can, and you press down the middle with the hole on the bottom.
What kind of can? I'm sorry.
Oh, a 12-ounce can.
Like pop can?
Yes.
Okay.
You poke holes in the top, and then you poke a hole towards the end, and then you put ashes on it, and then you put that on the ashes.
It didn't bother you, or at that time that you just got done smoking, and now you're going to go to the hospital, you don't get nervous about that?
I lied to them.
Okay.
I told them I was walking down the stairs with my lunch and had a knife here and a dinner plate here, and then I fell and grabbed the railing. But they looked at me funny because it's not cut like that. It's more like a circular can.
So you're saying, show me how to cut your finger. We're supposed to shake. Like if you draw a finger.
I took pictures.
Did it? Show me on this being your pinky and your next finger.
This one's here.
Okay.
This one's here.
Alright. Did you get stitches or anything?
Yes.
What do you think's going on in the house right now? What do you
I suppose they're processing it like they do on TV.
Okay. You understand that when that's done, that I'll be honest with you, with the agency it's coming as PCI, the Bureau of Criminal Investigation. Okay. We use them because they're very thorough. Okay. They're going to collect everything that's there. We're going to do a search warrant in the house. We're going to collect everything there. We're going to, so all that stuff gets collected and gets processed, and we do the content that you see on TV. It doesn't happen as quick as it happens on TV, but it does happen. And then we got 20 officers working on this right now. Okay. It's kind of ironic that you have cuts on your fingers.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know how it looks.
I'll be honest with you, it's hard for me to understand how you're going to cut your hand and you just got done smoking. You're going to drive to a hospital where they probably got to do blood tests, maybe.
No,
that kind
I
of
knew
stuff.
they wouldn't.
Okay.
I've had stitches before.
I've never met you. I've never met Michelle. What size of woman is she?
I liked her. She's funny. Mostly courteous, unless she's been drinking. I liked her well. I didn't know her that much. I knew her as a baby, and then I knew her now. There's like 20 years in between. But I liked her. She wasn't very judgmental either, because I know she knew. I know her mom must have talked to her about things, but she never said nothing.
Her appearance, was she a larger woman, skinny woman? I don't know what she looks like.
Michelle's petite.
Okay.
Like her mom.
Okay.
A little thicker than her mom. She took care of herself. She liked to run.
Up until now, Roxanne had adequate time to speak freely and defend herself. Instead, she has only dug a deeper hole for herself. Now it's the detective's turn to speak, and he will not hold back at all.
But I've been a cop 24 years. Okay, so I've done this a long time. What I don't understand is you were home. She passed away at your home, but you're pretty much home the whole time.
Yes.
You have a cut on your hand. You were using drugs.
Yes.
She's a small woman.
She's a strong woman.
Sure.
I've seen her move.
You see difficulty that's come from my eyes?
I do. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I was very forthcoming. So,
once again, how do I? You were home. I mean, obviously, the coroner, BCI, they're going to be able to pinpoint exactly when her body, when she basically took her last breath, how long she's deceased, how long she's been laying there. We're going to be able to tell. Obviously, it's not going to be right away, but we're going to be able to tell that. I've done this. I know what happens. Okay. We're going to know what's in her body, what she was taking, all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk to neighbors. We're going to do all that kind of stuff. Once again, if I look past all that stuff, it just amazes me that she was alive on Friday, sometimes 12:45ish, I think was the last time, until late this afternoon. And you pretty much were home that whole time.
on and on. Yeah. Well, today, most of the time.
Right. So it's kind of hard to. How does she get put there?
I don't know.
Okay.
There was nothing inside the house that said anything. I don't know.
Is there blood inside the house?
Not that I see.
when you come home from the hospital, you said you did the dishes because it was a mess.
Yeah.
So you cut your fingers and you do dishes.
I went to Burger King too and did dishes today.
Okay. Did you put a glove on or how? You
Just the bandage. They said it was okay to get wet.
okay. How are you feeling right now? What's going on inside you?
I'm tired.
I'm sure.
I'm confused.
What are you confused about? Are you scared?
No, I'm not scared. I'm frustrated a little because he said I could go home and that was 4 hours. I'd like to be with my brother because I feel alone.
Sure.
So that confuses me that she said she was going to get my shoes and I never got them. And I know that all sounds selfish. I know it does. But my brain just feels like shutting down because it doesn't know what to think.
You understand it?
I know that. I know. I do. I understand. It just doesn't make it any better here.
Did you harm Roxanne? Or Michelle?
No, I did not.
You didn't harm her?
No.
Who did?
I don't know.
I mean, you paint a picture of a woman who seems to be pretty nice. She wanted to be a police officer. Now, granted, I don't know who she ran with, but her mom, from what I'm being told, paints a pretty good picture of her.
And she partied some, but I don't think overly excessive for 21.
Okay.
So I don't know.
So once again, you have these cuts in your hand. You have an issue with her dog. You don't like her because the OCD stuff.
Yeah, but none of that is worth nothing. It's just petty complaints.
Okay. Sometimes it paints a bigger picture, though.
I mean, I deal with those frustrations by calling my son and my brother, Amanda, Facebook.
Why'd you start using drugs again? You said you were kind of clean there for a while. What?
It was just stress. My son was gone. He was in New York over the holidays. It was a little depressing. So I just did.
What made you decide to use Friday? What was the catalyst? What was the trigger?
There was really no trigger. I knew that next week's pay wasn't going to go towards any partying or anything because I was going to pay off my 401k loan so I can recycle it and move. So I figured I just got a little teeny pay. I might as well. I was up. There was no trigger.
When was the last time you went out in the backyard?
Yesterday to get the dog.
So I'm talking maybe Friday? What time was that about again?
That was around noonish when I was still in the bathroom, and I heard Michelle and the dog. I'm like, well, I'm going to come out of the bathroom, so I shouldn't think I'm doing nothing, because that's where I hide, and Diane knows that. So I'm just talking to her, and she had her slippers on, and the dog is doing its wrong thing, and usually she goes out there, but I already had my shoes on. So I just went, grabbed her by the collar, pulled her in, we played tug-of-war with a towel, Michelle cleaned her up, we smoked a cigarette.
Oh, Roxanne, I've interviewed probably hundreds of people, okay, in my career. And there's a dead woman in your backyard.
I know.
That someone used to live with you, and you act like it's nothing.
I am not acting like that. And if it seems that way, I'm not good at that. I never have been. Like, I didn't even cry at my father's funeral or my mom's.
Roxanne's troubled emotions could be real. According to a letter from her brother, Roxanne's past was a mess: abusive foster homes, bullying, failed marriages, and caring for sick parents. But none of that is justification for why a body ended up in her shed.
I don't know how to process it yet. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. There's no timeline on this. I don't know what to think. And I've been here for 6 hours.
Sure.
With only sporadic sleep on and off. I don't know what to think. I've never dealt with this type of thing before. So, I mean, if I could cry on a dime, I would. I can't do that. I don't know what to do.
Well, it's not normal. I mean, most people would be pretty emotional, I would think. I be honest with you, I don't think you're being truthful with me. I think you know a little bit more than what you want to tell me. And I don't understand why. I really don't. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes.
I make a lot of mistakes.
Sure, so
I don't make that kind of mistake. I am not a violent person, and I understand why you're looking at me that way, and why you think that. I know that. I understand coming from you, but you don't know me.
But that's why I look at facts. I look at what's already, you have a cut on your hand. Your home when I get my next paycheck that when she took her last breath, you were there.
No. They said she died violently. I would have heard something like that.
Okay. Well, if you last saw her yesterday, and she was found this afternoon, and you pretty much were home the whole time, minus the dog issues. You understand where I'm going?
And the ER hours and stuff. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, a lot of my time is spent. I am telling you the truth.
Did you get to cut on your hands from a knife?
No, from a can.
Because the doctor will be able to tell us that.
They will tell you I got it, that I said I got it from a knife.
No, they can tell what cuts are from.
Okay.
Whether from a can or from a knife or from a razor or, anytime you go into the hospital for stitches or something like that, they ask you how it happens, okay? And then they can tell from their professional opinion what it looks like, how it happens.
Then ask them.
Okay. Well, we will be doing that.
Okay.
Part of the other problem is, you said you weren't in the garage other than the smoke, but your footprint, or part of your footprint, is in some of the blood that's in the garage.
Okay.
So how did that get there? Why would there be blood in the garage if you were bleeding in the garage?
I don't know.
But it wasn't just the blood. When forensic analysts tested the DNA under Michelle's fingernails, they found a major profile that was hers, and a minor profile too, one that belonged to Roxanne.
I didn't see any blood. I don't usually wear these contact lenses. I wear glasses that are 3 years old when I'm at home. I don't know.
And these are all questions that come up to us, okay? Mainly, you're home almost the whole time, other than a couple hours here and there.
I'm always home. Except for a couple hours here.
You tell us you're buying, okay? Is there somebody else we should be looking at?
No.
Is there someone that came to the house, maybe brought your
People? No.
Did Michelle catch you doing the bathroom? Maybe there were some words said
No.
or something.
She wouldn't have said nothing anyway. She's not that kind. She would have just told her mom.
I started to ask you a question about your footprint, and your shoe was in the blood, and your immediate answer was your contact, or 3-year-old contact. I've had contacts, I'm in 4th grade. I've never had an issue where I couldn't see enough to wear.
That's because I'm getting frustrated. Because
it's just an answer to a question.
But I've been here so long when I told I said everything I know to say. Everything I've done. I told you the truth.
So your answer to your footprint being in some blood is because your contact.
He asked me how I didn't know.
Okay.
That's how I didn't know.
You didn't see
I didn't
blood on the ground
see
because your contacts.
I didn't see blood on the ground. Probably because of my contacts. I'm not paying attention. I don't pay attention to something I do 1,000 times a day. So yes, now I'm getting a little defensive because put yourself in my shoes.
Well, I do. I sit here, I think, if I'm sitting there, what do I want this officer to say to me? And that's how I come up with questions, okay? People think all police officers want to do is arrest people. We actually want to help people. There are points along the road where we can help people. And right now, you're at that point.
I did not do this.
You didn't do what?
Hurt her.
Well, you live in their house. apartments, I mean, there isn't much space between the walls that you don't hear
When I'm
what's
working, I
going
put
on.
headphones on with my computer, so I'll just turn.
Yeah, but I'm saying when they have people over upstairs and you're sitting downstairs, I'm sure you can hear what they're talking about, who's over, if it's a male, if it's a female, or what's going on. Those apartments aren't built that well.
Yes, but I don't know who they are. I've heard of people there. I think it was last Tuesday. She had a male and a female over. Because I asked them to keep it down because I was off. She didn't know I was off. Until she brought the dog through, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were home because I work at night." But the only time she introduces me is if I go up to cook something and they're there. I don't remember their names.
How much did you bleed? Because I wrote here in my notes. Just
Not that much.
and where did you bleed at?
Right by the front door when I was taking the dog out.
You can see our concern and why we're looking at you,
I know.
because you've been home most of the time.
They didn't try to hide any of that either.
So,
I could have hit that. But I didn't know if you were going to do a blood test or not. And it was such a little thing.
if there's anything you want to tell us,
No.
now's the time to do it, because now's the time when we can best help you. Okay? Because if the evidence starts piling up, okay, it's going to be a lot more difficult for us to be able to help. Okay? When someone comes forward on their own, when they've done something that they, whether they intended to do it or whether it was a fit of rage or whether, whatever caused it,
Never had a
okay?
fit of rage in my life.
Without any remorse, okay, there's not a whole lot we can do. But when someone tells us, on their own, without us saying we have this evidence, all this mounting up, it's going to be too late by then. Right now is the time, you want to help yourself.
Do this.
You didn't do what?
I didn't hurt her.
Well, she's dead.
I know.
So what do you? I don't understand. You see, you didn't hurt her. She's dead.
I didn't kill her either. I haven't dealt a lot with death. Just my parents, and that was late in life, and that's it. I don't know how to deal. I don't know how to talk about a deceased person. I don't even talk about my parents after years, 10 years. I don't do death that well.
When we start talking to some people around you, well, I'm sure we're going to talk to Diane and some of the neighbors, and we're going to try and dig into your background a little bit. Talk to people that know you. Is there anybody that's going to say that you have a violent
Not
past
a
or,
soul.
anything that's going to lead us back to talking to you?
Not a soul.
Shortly after this, the interview comes to an end as Roxanne refuses to cooperate any further. However, just 4 days later, she's called in for another one, and this time detectives won't pull their punches. Because as she was enjoying her little murder vacation, investigators found bloodstains on books inside her car, and spoiler alert, the DNA was a perfect match for Michelle.
I want you to go back over everything, so in case we missed anything, somebody told us the first time or something was wrong or anything like that.
My sister-in-law told me to think really hard about everything.
Because, we've been busy since then, okay? And like I told you the other night when I talked to you that morning, I know it's late, we've been checking everything out, okay? And there's quite a few holes in some of the things you've been telling us. We've got some information from neighbors, other people that we've talked to, okay, that indicates you're not being totally truthful with us, okay? Now, there was a neighbor that called, and this has been all over the news as far as, Michelle, okay, that they saw you in the backyard Saturday morning chasing the dog, trying to shoot him back into the house. Why would they tell us that?
I have no idea.
But you weren't in the backyard at all.
On Saturday, no.
How about Friday?
Yes. Because the dog wouldn't come back in.
I thought you said you guys were in the garage.
I said this Saturday too. I said it to your other.
I was here today.
Yes. That she was wearing slippers.
Right.
And the dog was being a puppy and jumping back and forth, and I was already dressed to pick up Amanda.
Okay.
So I went out and grabbed her by the collar and brought her back in.
How do you feel since she's dead?
I hurt for her mother.
What do you think about all this?
I don't know what to think. Still.
And what do you think should happen to when we get the person that's done this? What do you think should happen?
I don't know. Because I don't know the situation.
Well, she was violently murdered in your bedroom next to your bed with her blood on your possessions and her blood in your car and her blood on your shoes.
Her blood was in my car.
I believe we're going to find that out, and that we can't explain away unless you can come up with some truths. And if that happens, that can only lead us to one conclusion.
You said I could have my car back today.
No, I said have it back since we get it released from the DCI. There's still evidentiary value to that for us, and things that we can't explain, which we were kind of hoping maybe you could help us with. I mean, look at it from our point of view.
I do.
Sure.
I even told them Saturday I do.
There's no reason for Michelle's blood to be in your car. What are we supposed to do when they call us and say that it is in your car?
I don't know.
I mean, nobody else uses your car, correct?
You said there was blood in my room. Could it have gotten on my bag? Is it on my bag?
It's all over your room.
Yes, but was it on my bag in the car?
You mean the paper bag or whatever? Or the
Red.
carry bag?
It's red.
Where was the carry bag kept?
On my dresser.
There was a lot of blood. Okay. There's two types of blood that was in there. Okay, we know that much so far. Now, part of that process, we'll probably find out sometime tomorrow. Hopefully by tomorrow afternoon. If any of that blood is yours, if any of her blood is connected with it, or on your stuff, and your clothes, and your shoes. Now, if that happens tomorrow, there's nothing we can do to help you. You can talk to us today and tell us what happened. We can help you as much as we can. But after, and we think we can explain away some of this stuff if you'll just let us know what happened. We can fill in some of the blanks and see how some of this stuff goes. But we can't do that until you start to open up and let us know. And I think it is a burden on you. And I think you do want to tell somebody. And I think you do want to let go. Even if you guys weren't close or you weren't close with Diana, it's another human being. And it's a young being that took a very violent turn. And you don't seem like a bad person. Goofy people have, they're living humans, loving people.
Amusing.
I mean, was she goofy enough when you said? I mean,
I like to be amused.
Did that bother you?
No, I don't. I love to be amused. That's one of my favorite sayings for the past 20 years is I love to be amused.
But you hear what I'm saying is that,
Yes.
that we're trying to help in her memory, give closure to Diana for losing her daughter, help you if there was something that happened that night, that we can explain through. And down the road, people that take responsibility for what they do always do better than those that deny until the very end, when nobody can help them. Who do you think did?
I didn't do this. Can I go now?
can go anytime you want.
Right. We're not holding you here. You're not under arrest or anything like that. We're actually, believe it or not, and people don't believe it, we're actually trying to help you.
Is your blood pressure people still here?
We can get connected to a fire department. You need a blood pressure check?
I don't know. I'm shaking though.
If I had to guess, the only thing spiking in that room wasn't Roxanne's blood pressure, it was the detectives, after listening to her nonsense for hours on end.
When the facts come out, the true facts come out, and the lab tests come back, it's going to be too late for us to be able to get your story out the way that it should be right now, without any proof, without any
And help you through it.
anything pushing you through it. This is going to be on your own free will.
And I didn't want to sound cold or anything, but I have to go to work.
That's okay.
Would you like to do that?
That's legitimate.
Would you like to do that on a clean conscience, or would you like to carry this burden with you even longer?
I just like to work.
And work's an outlet, right?
Always.
What else is an outlet? Relieving yourself of burden.
So, can I go to work now?
Sure.
From the moment she sat down to the moment she walked out, Roxanne did what she does best: dodge, deflect, and derail with 5 hours of excuses, lies, and half-truths. But none of that worked in front of a jury. On October 21st, 2014, 45-year-old Roxanne Buck was sentenced to 15 years to life for murder. She also picked up an extra 3 years for tampering with evidence.